I need characteristic equation for any 3 cross 3 matrix, then you can write lambda cube minus raise of a into lambda square plus cofactor of leading diagonal terms. So C11, C22, C33. Right, sum of cofactor of these three elements 2, 3 and b. These are the terms on principal diagonal. So here we write cofactor of leading diagonal terms. This multiplied by lambda minus determinant of a equals to 0. Now this is one very important formula that you can remember. If you know this formula, you can save a lot of time during exam. Welcome to our YouTube channel, ARYA Mathematics. In this video, we are going to discuss one very interesting problem from JEE Main 2024. The problem is from the chapter Matrices and Determinant. Let A be this 3 cross 3 matrix where we have two unknowns A and B in these two places, and this matrix equation is given to us. A cube, this is 4a square minus a minus 21i, where I is an identity matrix of order 3 into 3. Then we have to find the value of 2a plus 3b. Now, generally when we solve this problem, we use Cayley-Hamilton theorem. First, we write the characteristic equation of this matrix, and then we use Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Means we replace, if I want to write characteristic equation for this matrix, then the formula to write characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda into I, this equals to 0. So that means from the diagonal elements, we'll subtract lambda, we'll equate the determinant to 0. So from there, we'll get characteristic equation. Right? Determinant of A minus lambda I, so we'll get 2 minus lambda, A 0. Then 1, 3 minus lambda, 1, and then 0, 5, and then b minus lambda. And if I equate this determinant to 0, then we'll get the characteristic equation of this matrix, which will be a cubic equation in lambda. By replacing lambda with a, we'll get the matrix equation, and then we can compare and find the value of these two unknowns, a and b. But as you can see that it will take significant amount of calculation to write the characteristic equation after this. So I will explain another interesting method of finding the characteristic equation for any 3 cross 3 matrix. If you know this direct formula for writing the characteristic equation, then you can significantly reduce your calculation. So the formula is very simple. If I need characteristic equation for any 3 cross 3 matrix, then you can write lambda cube minus raise of a into lambda square plus cofactor of leading diagonal terms. So C11, C22, C33. Right, sum of cofactor of these three elements 2, 3 and b. These are the terms on principal diagonal. So here we write cofactor of leading diagonal terms. This multiplied by lambda minus determinant of a equals to 0. Now this is one very important formula that you can remember. If you know this formula, you can save a lot of time during exam. So now this is the matrix equation. So therefore the characteristic equation should be lambda cube minus 4 lambda square plus a plus 21i, this equals to 0. In fact, we should replace a with lambda, so plus lambda plus 21, this equals to 0. Right? If I use inverse of Cayley-Hamilton theorem, then we should replace a with lambda. And if I take everything on one side, so lambda cube minus 4 lambda square plus lambda plus 21, this will be 0. And if you compare with this standard format, then you can see coefficient of lambda square, this must be trace of A. So from here you can conclude that trace of this matrix A, this must be 4. Right? Coefficient of lambda square is minus 4. Coefficient of lambda square, this should be minus trace of A. So from there we'll get trace of A equals to 4. And similarly, the determinant of this matrix, that the constant term is minus determinant of A and the constant term is 21. So that means determinant of this matrix A, this must be minus 21. And there are two unknowns. So these two equations are sufficient to find the value of the two unknowns A and B. Right? These are the two unknowns. One is A, another one is B. So if trace of A is 4, this will imply that the value of B, right, 2 plus 3 plus B, This is trace. So trace is b plus 5. This must be 4. So this will imply that b is minus 1. So as you can see that we directly got the value of b. And now if you calculate the determinant of this matrix, so 2 into 3b minus 5 and then minus a into b minus 0, and this should be minus 21. So if you substitute b as minus 1, then you will get the value of a as minus 5. Right, so these are the values of a and b. B is minus 1, a is minus 5. The problem was find the value of 2a plus 3b. Right, so 2a plus 3b, this will be minus 10 minus 3, that is minus 13. So this third option is the correct answer for this problem. And again, I'll repeat this point that you should remember the formula to write characteristic equation for 3 cross 3 matrix. Because if you know the formula, then you can decrease your time for solving this problem. Using a standard formula also, you can get the characteristic equation, but it will take some time. And if you know this formula, directly you can compare the trace of matrix A, this must be 4. From there we got B, and determinant of A, this must be minus 21. From there we got A. Once we know A and B, we can easily write the answer. So the correct answer for this problem will be minus 13. Thanks for watching and keep learning.